ContraPoints video about her. Well, it's a ContraPoints video about the witch trials of JK Rowling. JK Rowling, as you could imagine, has a lot in common with Anita Bryant. My dumbass was like, "Oh no, Anita Baker crying" when I first heard that it was, and then I realized it was Anita Bryant. Yeah, on that homophobe pack. Yeah, I love this video. It's a good video. I mean, most ContraPoints videos I think are pretty damn good. First gender neutral bathroom just opened up in Oklahoma. Stop. Stop. The TLDR is that this lady was so homophobic and she hated gay people so much, she ruined her, I believe, she ruined her partnership with like the largest orange juice company and the Florida Orange Juice, Citrus Commission, because she had to be homophobic, which I think is very similar to like JK Rowling on trans people. Like, JK Rowling is so anti-trans, she's willing to destroy her entire career. And she's willing to destroy everything that she's built up because she's mad about nothing.
Chapter 6.
No. Here we go.
Chapter 2. The Witch Trials of Anita Bryant.
Consider this an educational stream for today. Can I get some ones in chat if you know of Anita Bryant? Twos if you have no idea. 1.5 if it's something in the middle.
Would help us all. The mainstream media would have us believe that Anita Bryant is a so-called homophobe, some kind of hateful bigot. But isn't this just an authoritarian tactic used to silence valid concerns? Mothers in this country are worried about their children going to school to be taught by perverts. How can we be so sure that the militant homosexuals weren't the real bigots? Isn't it possible that Anita Bryant was the first victim of cancel culture, of, dare I say it, wokeism? Well, no, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. But suppose that you're an idiot, and suppose that that's the narrative
Suppose that you're an idiot.
you wanted to promote. Well,
okay.
What would be your argument? I mean,
let me put myself in that mindset. What if I spend all of my money on Hawk-Tuah coin? All right, we're in the mindset. Let's go.
If someone put a gun to my head and forced me to make that argument, I'd probably say something like this. Anita Bryant lived a difficult life. In 1940, she was born into brutal poverty in rural Oklahoma. Her parents divorced when she was just 2 years old, the same year she made her singing debut at the Baptist church.
Parts of my childhood I blocked out because it hurts too much. I guess I was happiest when I was 8 years old, and my parents were remarried, and I was baptized and came to know Christ as my personal savior.
Her father abandoned the family again when she was 12.
It was real painful, and it just about killed my mother. She was a very submissive wife. She was too submissive, and it angered me. She let my dad step all over her. Because of him, I think I went through life for a long time hating all men.
Anita described her
so out of pocket. What if I tier 3 sub to Asmonmold? Okay, ready, let's go.
most intense adolescent memory as a feeling of intense ambition.
A relentless drive to succeed at doing well the thing I loved.
Glory, glory, hallelujah, His truth is marching on.
But Anita's ambition conflicted with her submissive role as a traditional Christian woman. In 1960, Anita married Bob Green, Miami's top disc jockey, though only after he relentlessly badgered her into it.
This is what heterosexuals do, fellas.
Green was allegedly a controlling and abusive husband. Feminist Andrea Dworkin claims
Green manipulated Bryant with a cruelty nearly unmatched in modern love stories.
And Anita rationalized the abuse, saying,
Despite our sometimes violent scraps,
Volatile Calm, thank you so much for the 5 gift subs. Thank you.
I love him for it.
But while submitting to her husband and raising 4 children, Anita was still able to build the career she'd always wanted. By the 1970s, she was on the payroll of Big Orange Juice, earning $500,000 a year, enough to move her family into a 27-room Spanish mansion on Biscayne Bay. So Anita Bryant struggled all her life for her success. Did she really deserve to lose it all just because she took a stand for something she believed in?
Anita Bryant's role as a leader in the campaign against homosexuals may be hurting her campaign to sell orange juice.
Are you being blackballed?
Well, it looks that way. It's worse than that. We're being threatened, and there's all kinds of harassment, even with my job with Florida Citrus.
It's just the cancel culture and I'm being silent is just the modern day Anita Bryant. Me when I can't stop being a homophobe. They're being really mean to me because I just happen to hate gay people and think they should burn in hell forever. Steph, thank you so much for the 4 months. Thanks.
Hey, Denims in chat. Hope
her entire life had become a series of catastrophes. She'd been dropped as spokesperson by the orange growers. She had been dropped as a commentator on the Orange Bowl parade. She lost a television show contract. Her bookings dropped drastically.
It destroys the dream that I have had since I was a child to entertain and present wholesome subjects to my fellow Americans because I dared to speak out for straight and normal America.
No one has paid as dearly as Anita Bryant for taking a public stand on something she believed in.
I remember lying in the bed in my mother's house in a fetal position and wanting to die.
Gay activists in the 1970s didn't exactly limit their tactics to polite debate in the free marketplace of ideas.
Homosexuals started fighting back. The gays formed new groups and picketed the performers' public appearances, forcing her to cancel a few.
Gay activists routinely compared Anita to Adolf H. They created pastiches of her orange juice slogan. They blamed her for hate crimes. They burned her in effigy. They disrupted events she was involved in. They printed toilet paper with her face on it. Some sent Anita death threats, or they mailed her rotting oranges, dead cockroaches, human excrement. See, this is how you canceled people before phones. Instead of shitposting, you would simply mail actual human shit through the United States Postal Service. Neither snow, nor rain, nor heat, nor gloom of night. Anita's husband pleaded to supporters.
How would you men feel if you opened a letter and there was a photo of your wife's head superimposed on some other female nude body in the most lewd and shocking sexual act you can imagine?
Can imagine quite a lot. I do think it would be fair to say that a lot of the rhetoric did take on a misogynistic tone. Lillian Faderman recounts that lesbians, particularly lesbian feminists, abhorred the sexist terms that were being used to characterize Anita Bryant. Bitch and whore, gay men called her. The harassment escalated to the point where Anita had to cancel her book tour due to demonstrations and bomb threats from gay activists. And of course, there was the pie. So much for the tolerant Mattachine Society. It's kind of a deep cut. Well, something to entertain the boomer queers. Gay activists claimed to stand for human rights, but what about Anita's right to free speech? I wish I had some literal pearls to clutch. Civil libertarian Nat Hentoff wrote in his 1992 book, Free Speech for Me, But Not for Thee, that the orange juice boycott reminded him of a little thing called McCarthyism. Have you ever considered that being pro-gay is quite similar to being anti-gay, in that both are opinions? As Anita tells it, she and her foot soldiers of God were the victims of sinister gay carpetbaggers.
The foot soldiers were housewives and mothers, religious and civic leaders in opposition to a well-organized, highly financed, and politically militant group of homosexual activists. We were cast as bigots, haters, discriminators, and deniers of basic human rights. And all of this happened because we were sincerely concerned for our children and our
Me when I hate gay people. Can you believe they're saying that I hate gay people? Oh my God.
community.
So Anita's version of the story is that she and a handful of well-intentioned Christian mothers were cast as bigots by a highly funded mafia of gay extremists, all because they had a few teensy tiny concerns about the militant homosexual cavorting with little boys.
Cavorting with little boys.
Is it really fair to call this woman a bigot? Until the Dade County Ordinance, Anita was a registered Democrat and considered herself a liberal. And she never said that she hated gay people or wanted them dead. In fact, she even said that she loves homosexuals.
I love homosexuals, if you can believe that. I love them enough to tell them the truth, because I know that there is hope for the homosexuals, that if they're willing to turn from sin the same as any individual, that they can be ex-homosexuals, the same as there can be an ex-murderer, an ex-thief, or ex-anybody.
She loves homosexuals because they can change, just like murderers. Would a bigot have said that? Just about McFucking had it. Anita was so kind-hearted, she even said that she related to the homosexual.
I can relate to the homosexual because I've had emotional
And in
scars
response, they're mean to me. The injustice.
in my own life. I really felt the rejection of my father, and that is one of the things that maybe leads someone going into homosexuality. Look, I don't hate homosexuals. That's the truth, no matter what they think of my motives. I've always said I love the sinner, but I hate the sin.
Wow, what an empath. You know, I actually think it's really noble how she's able to project all of her own emotional baggage onto the marginalized group whose rights she's trying to take away. Okay, so we've given a fair hearing to both sides, to many sides. We've considered all the evidence. Now, let's suppose there's no longer a gun to my head and ask, did Anita Bryant really deserve that pie to the face? Well, yes, obviously. Look, the point I'm trying to make here is that it's possible to take genuine virtues like nuance, empathy, and impartiality and to twist them into fucked up apologia for horrible oppressive behavior. If you play this game long enough, you can essentially explain away the entire concept of bigotry and conclude that, in reality, there are no bigots. There's only tragically misunderstood people with difficult childhoods and valid concerns cruelly demonized by militant activists defaming and silencing them with such reputation-ruining slurs as homophobe. Now, because you, viewers, are smart, media-literate people, you understand framing, so you already know that I'm about to compare Anita Bryant to JK Rowling. In case you didn't know, JK Rowling is a popular author who used to write whimsical stories about wizard school, but who now writes books about transvestite serial killers masturbating into stolen panties because she's lost her goddamn mind. Lo ho ho, dear readers. Christ, what a nightmare. Chapter 3, The Witch Trials of JK Rowling. Alright kids, it's transom
Alright, that's all I wanted to show
time.
you guys. I just thought we would start on a high note and talk about the fact that she writes what? Yeah. Thought we would start on a high note, celebrating you know, one of the worst people ever that started the gay people are gonna secure kids. They're going after, we need to protect the kids. I think we should start the day with some good news, you know? Yeah. 2 in 1 week. Feels okay, man. Feels okay.